Blockchain vs. cryptocurrency. What's the difference? In today's video, we're going to take a look at the difference between blockchain and cryptocurrency. What is blockchain? What is crypto? And how do they work together? Let's get into it. First off, let's start with the definition of each term. So blockchain is a type of technology. It's a digital ledger that stores data in blocks which are linked together in a chain. Each block contains a timestamp and a link to the previous block, creating a permanent and tamper-evident record of data. Now, this data can be anything from financial transactions to medical records to voting history. But for the purposes of this video, we're mainly going to focus on how blockchain is used in cryptocurrencies. Next, let's define cryptocurrency. So crypto is a type of digital asset that uses cryptography for security. Cryptocurrencies are issued and managed by decentralized networks, meaning they're not subject to government or financial institution control. Now, the most well-known crypto is probably Bitcoin, but there are thousands of other cryptos out there. Some examples include Ethereum, Cardano, Solana, and many, many more. So now that we have those definitions out of the way, let's talk about the relationship between blockchain and cryptocurrency. So the blockchain is the underlying technology that enables cryptocurrencies to exist. In other words, crypto wouldn't be possible without blockchain. Let me explain. So one of the main features of blockchain is decentralization. This means that instead of having a central authority like a bank or a government that controls all the data is distributed across a network of computers. This makes it very difficult to tamper with, because if one computer in the network gets hacked, it doesn't matter because all the other computers still have the same data. This also makes the blockchain very transparent, because anyone can see all the transactions that are taking place. Another important feature of blockchain is that it's immutable, which means once data is added to the blockchain, it can never be removed or altered. This provides a high level of security because it's extremely difficult to reverse transactions. Okay, so how does this relate to cryptocurrency? Well, cryptocurrencies use the blockchain to record all transactions. For example, when you buy something with Bitcoin, the transaction is broadcast to the network, and then it's verified and added to the blockchain. This means that every Bitcoin transaction is permanent and transparent. Now, the beauty of this is that you don't need a bank or a government to oversee your transactions. Instead, they're overseen by the network. This can save you money on fees, and it can also make transactions much faster. There are also many other types of transactions that can take place on the blockchain, besides just buying things. For example, smart contracts can be executed on the blockchain. Smart contract is basically a program that runs on the blockchain. It can be used to do all sorts of things like automatically execute an agreement when certain conditions are met, or they can be used to create new tokens. Speaking of tokens, they can also be created on the blockchain. In fact, most cryptocurrencies are actually tokens. A token is basically a digital asset that represents something else. For example, Tether is a token that's backed by the US dollar. So each Tether token represents $1 US. There are also many other types of tokens out there that represent different things. For example, some tokens represent shares of a company, while others represent real estate or even precious metals. Alright, so hopefully that gave you a good overview of what blockchain is and how it relates to cryptocurrency. If you want to learn more about cryptocurrency, check out our other videos. We have a ton of great content that can help you get started. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.